Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Sandy Bay, continuing with our first, I guess this is our first grass work of the season and our first grass work of Sandy Bay. It's going okay so far. Something I've noticed though, just some little housekeeping stuff, we are using the Real Dirt mod, and I think Real Dirt begins to freak out when you have more than 4 wheels on a vehicle, because this one has a bunch of wheels on the back, and I think this is when it begins to go a little south. Like some wheels pick up dirt, some wheels don't. I want to understand this mod. I like it. It just seems so buggy, you know? What can you do? So you can see down here, we've got a few rows. This is all the we have left of our hay, by the way. We've got a few rows left. We're going to rake those up. We're going to bale a little bit. We're going to use the front loader, the wheel loader. We're going to use the wheel loader with the straw harvest grab on it. Let me close this gate. I just saw this. Try to be a good, responsible farmer. This field is done, by the way, in here. So this, you can see to the south of this line here, this demarcation, you can see this is harvested or semi-harvested. It's back to first harvest stage. This is the area the animals are eating from. And then this area to the north is what we mowed all the way down to fully harvested. I left this little marker here so we would try to know if this is going to expand out. As it stands right now, it's just sort of an area that they are eating from. I don't know if this is designated or if this area will expand out or repeat. I don't know the exact mechanics of how that mod works at this point. Well, it's a mod, but it's also something map makers add to the map. But we did get all this mowed, we got it raked, and we picked it up. So we're good to go there. We did the same for the area over behind the dairy. That will be where our cows spawn when we get them, and that is over behind the class. We don't have to go over there, we'll just kind of look over that way. Yeah, right over there on the far side of the pavement. We got that raked and baled as well. We got everything picked up. I learned something about that grab that I got for the wheel loader. As far as I can remember, for straw harvest for 17, it was only 3 wide. The one that we had on there was 5 wide. And so when I brought it up here, it wouldn't fit through the door. I couldn't get it into the shed. But that sort of worked out, because if we had got it in, they grabbed the bales 90 degrees to where they are. So they would have been in here at an angle that really we could only ever pick them up with that grab again. So what I did was I traded it out for the 3 grab, put that on the wheel loader, and I just brought them up here and dropped them right about here. And then we took the Scorpion with our regular spike on it, and that's what I've been using to stack them in here. We got about 60 bales so far. We only need, I think, 100 to get through a year, to get through a full year for our sheep. And that's not including what they eat from the pasture. So I think we may need less than 100, but we would never need more than 100. So 100 is the number that we're going to be working with. We want to try to get 100. And we'll see a bale count when we hop in the class. I haven't reset it, so we'll see a bale count so far. And I think it's 60 or 70. So to work. First thing we're going to do is finish up these last couple rows with our rake. And then get that out of the way. And then we will do a little baling. I'll show you how that triple stacker works for the straw harvest add-on. I mean, it's not that amazing or anything. It's just a little, I call it a stacker. I don't know what it is. Collector. It's a thing, a various thing as you have. All right, so we will put this, I don't know why. Stop, I said. There we go. I don't know why I put this on GPS. I don't know. Why not? Figured we had it. And let's slow this way, way, way down. Right about like there. Yeah, that's better. Why not, right? I did the outside, kind of cleaned that up a little bit. And then got the bales, picked up the bales, got them out of the way. I didn't bother using a trailer. I just took them directly to the front of the shed and dropped them there. It made more sense, right? I'm not going to take the time to try to stack them neatly on a trailer, drive the trailer a couple 100 meters and then start taking them off again. I just took them directly up. And I really don't like stacking. I wish there was a middle ground between stacking manually, stacking by hand, and using a full-on auto loader. An auto loader to me feels too easy, but stacking, I swear some days it feels a little too hard. It's a little too challenging for ill will. I'm just not very good at it. I don't know what the trick is. Whatever the trick is, I ain't learned it. I don't know it. Alright, so we're going to, I could have done one more headland down at this end of the field just to give us a little bit more room to turn, but we'll swing it around carefully. Carefully. And then we're right back up here. Now you can see I did miss a few spots. I'll try to line this up. I did miss a few spots. This field has a lot of little bumps in it that our rake was not able to work around. You can see them over there on that side of the field. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. I don't think it matters. We got enough grass, hay out of this cut that I don't know what that would total up to. Probably less than a bale if we were to gather all that up manually. I hate to leave anything on the table, you know that. But at the same time, I think for sim farmers and for real farmers, there is it gets to diminishing returns, as they say. You know, it's just not worth the time, because time is money. Time costs money, and if you put X number of minutes or X number of hours into getting every single scrap of crop, every single, pardon me, where's my coffee? My voice, man, I don't know what's going on with it. If you put that much time into getting every single scrap of crop out of a field, at some point, what you're gathering up has less value than the time you're using to gather it up. So I'm not going to worry about, there's some little bits right there as well. I'm not going to worry about those. I think our budget for this farm is going to be big enough that a few thousand here and there, even though we're on 6,300 euro at the moment, we'll get to a point where 6,300 euro it's not going to make or break us. I mean, already it's not going to make or break us. We've got a ton of wool in the shed. We've got a ton of canola in the field. So I think we're going to do okay this year. Our loan sits on about 200,000. And we should be able to get that paid off. If not this year, then hopefully pretty soon. Now, we do still want to open the dairy. And that's going to cost a couple bucks. But all we'll really need to buy are the animals themselves. Now, we may, if we buy adult animals, I guess we just feed them. If we buy calves, we have to do that thing with the calf mod, the milk mod. I don't know. We'll figure that out if we go down that road. But if we just buy cows, they're going to eat from the pasture. We can feed them hay, and then we can buy a few pallets of TMR. And I think really that's all we'll need to put into them. We already have a lot of the other equipment that we need to take care of our animals. So hopefully that won't be too big an expense. Right there. All right, so we will, let's back this up a little bit, and we'll fold this and head back around to the top of the field. And we'll just do a couple lengths with the baler. I know, you've seen a baler work before, but, you know, just to mix it up a little bit, as we do every episode. Or try to, anyway. So we'll get some baling done, and then we'll grab the front loader, grab a few bales, take them back to the shed. I'm not going to put them inside, and we'll call it right there. But yeah, I'm enjoying this map. I am. It's different, and it is, I know part of it is 19, but part of it is the map as well. It's just kind of a fun map. It's just kind of, you know, it's playful. Is that the right word? Yeah, maybe not, but it's just fun. Whereas 17, I think, particularly the way we play it, the way I play it, it's always fun, but sometimes it's got kind of a work component to it. You know what I mean? It feels like we're working pretty hard on 17. Here, we're just kind of goofing off, playing with Farm Sim and having some fun. So both of them have their relative merits, I suppose. All right, so we back this up. Stack this up like so. And head over this way. How many rows do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should be, I don't know, hopefully another 20 bales maybe? Hard to say. We've got, what's our count? 73 so far. That's not bad. It's not bad. If we need 100 total, we got 73 and we haven't even finished up first cut yet. So I will take it. And we want, ooh, careful. I'm going to go here, drop that, set that, and here we go. So if I can pivot around so you can see through the dust cloud, yeah, it's just a, I don't know, I call it a stacker. But it does drop them in a nice little 3 pile or 3 side by side, and you can grab them with that grabber that we have on the wheel loader at the moment. And it certainly saves some time. I mean, you're not chasing around for single bales with a telehandler or a front loader. And when you get into bigger industrial operations like this, it really does make me wonder how true the game is to real life. I know with a small horsepower farm, it's pretty, I don't know, pretty standard, I guess. Like so, drop that. But when you get into bigger industrial operations, I think how you use your time and the type of equipment that you use becomes a lot more critical in real life if you want to remain profitable. And trying to replicate that in sim, I think if you don't, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of how a big industrial farm would be run. So the idea of using a stacker like this to save, X number of minutes or X number of hours per harvest, right? You know what your run rate is per hour. Every business knows what their run rate is. What does it cost them to be in business for 1 hour? So when you carry that run rate out, if you can save X number of hours, you save X number of dollars or pounds or euros or whatever. But I don't exactly have those efficiency standards and workflows for a big industrial farm. I imagine it gets extremely complicated when you've got 30 or 40 people working at the same time. That's got to be tricky to manage. But that's the whole reason why it makes sense sometimes to buy a $500,000, €500,000 piece of equipment. If it can save you hundreds or thousands of hours over 2 or 3 seasons, then it pays for itself. It's a good investment. But it is daunting. I was in Train Sim World, and I know some of those locos are $10 million, $12 million. Some of the American locos like they use on the Peninsula Corridor route, Caltrain. And I think, man, how many people buying a ticket for $20 or $30 does it take to cover that cost? Like, how long is it before an investment like that pays for itself when it's coming back to you at 20 or 30 bucks a piece? Or something like the Long Island Railroad, where people are buying tickets for even less than that, $8, $10, $12, whatever. And it's not just, it's not like all of that money, 100% of that money immediately goes back into that investment, right? You got to pay the driver, you've got to pay to maintain it, you've got to pay for electricity in the case of the Long Island Railroad, or fuel for Caltrain. So it's not, if you pay $10 million for a piece of kit, it's not like the next time you gross $10 million, it's paid for itself, right? Because that 10 million has to go to a lot of different places. It can't all just go into that equipment. So the same thing I think applies to agriculture. If you buy a tractor for $500,000, I'm just going to go with dollars because that's what I'm used to saying. If you buy a tractor for $500,000, it's not like the next time you sell a $500,000 worth of crop, that tractor's paid off, right? It might be 7 or 8 years before it's paid off. So looking at all that business math, that stuff fascinates me. And knowing that, this, what may appear to be a reckless investment is actually very prudent, and what may appear to be very prudent and very thrifty is actually kind of reckless and irresponsible. It's like the idea of having money in the bank is not always a good thing for a business, particularly for a bank business. And I think that's kind of, it seems counterintuitive to citizens, to people that aren't familiar with banking and business and how the rest of that works. Like, oh yeah, you want money in the bank, right? That's a good thing. Well, for a citizen, that's a great thing to have some savings. But for a business, there is definitely a high cap to how much money you want to have in the bank. The rest of it, you want to invest in things that make you money. Money in the bank doesn't necessarily make you money. You want to have enough of it in there to cover an emergency or a downturn, but no more than that. Money in the bank, it might not be getting you any return at all. Best case scenario, worst case scenario, it's not even keeping up with inflation. So what you want to do is, as often as possible, is take that money out and invest it in your business in some way, whether it's equipment, infrastructure, staff, payroll, stock buyback, whatever. You just want to do something with it because money in the bank isn't making you any money. And I'm guessing that the same thing would apply on a farm, even a farm this size. You'd want a little bit of money in the bank, but as often as possible, you would want to use that money to pay off a loan or invest in a piece of equipment or whatever. So that's, I mean, I guess that's what Bank of Hagestadt on 15 and 17 and a global company is meant to do. I'd like to see more of that brought in, and perhaps it will be in future generations of farm sim. I would love to see that. More of a management aspect, more planning, more software stuff, GPS, being able to calculate out what the costs will be for a given field, being able to calculate out how much fertilizer you'll need, how much fuel you'll need, being able to pre-buy fuel in bulk for the year. I would love to do all that stuff. And I know there are some mods that do some of those things, but I would love to see that as a part of base game. I know. Giant says that's not their core. Their core player isn't into that sort of stuff, but I certainly am. I think some of you are as well. I love that stuff. It sounds weird to say that, but things like business math, they really do fascinate me. All right, we're going to leave this running because it's been working pretty hard. And we'll come over here, grab our wheel loader. Where are we at on time? 16 minutes, and I'm going to have another hit of coffee before I cough again. And let me see. I think that's it. Yep. We'll just do, we try to do 3 things every episode. So this will be our 3rd activity. And then from here, we don't need to do anything with these fields as far as fertilizing them. They don't take fertilizer since they're meadow grass. So I guess next episode we could be buying some cows, get the dairy open. Yeah, let's do that. I think we won't need to think about harvesting canola for at least a couple episodes. So I think we'll get the dairy going next time around. I have a habit. I don't know why I do this, but I tend to start with things that are furthest away first, even though it's always exactly the same distance, right? Whether we drive to the bottom of the field early or late, it's still the same thing, but it's just a habit that I have. So let's go down here and get these that are furthest away. Whoa! I got my sensitivity dialed all the way back. Does not seem to matter. Let's get these picked up first, and we'll take these up to that little area in front of the shed where I've just been, like I said, kind of dumping them. I'll try to line this up a little bit over there, a little bit over here. And I know people do this in cab. They have my respect, because I can't do that. All right. Down like so. And then very carefully, we'll just creep forward. All right. Nice. Get those all lined up. Drop this down a little bit more. And grab bales. There we are. And I'm going to get past the side hill part of the turn. And here we go. Where would you put this if you were driving this in real life? Let's see what our visibility is like. Oh, not bad at all. Okay. I mean, you probably wouldn't want them right there, but I think there is okay. All right, so we'll get these dropped off, and then, like I said, cows next episode. Does that make sense? I think so. You know those little bumps in the field that I was talking about? There's another one. We're going to pass it right over here to our right. Yeah, I think you've seen... Yeah, there it is, right there. I think you've seen it when we've taken that little track down toward our arable fields. It's a horrific bump. I would think a farmer would have somebody come out here with a grader and smooth that out a little bit. I guess this farmer did not. I would think about messing with the terrain sculpting system, except the Me and the terrain sculpting system, we don't get along. We're not really, you know what I mean, in sync. Never had good luck with it. Alright, so I'll drop these right here. And like so. And we want to drop bales. Right there. And yeah, we can call it right there. That's 20 minutes. I think you've seen all the things we needed to see. So we'll lower this back down. Take the weight off the hydraulics. Set the brake. Hop out. There you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is Sandy Bay. We'll see you next time. Take care now.